I'm Jason McLean, and I created Evolutionary Sales several years ago, partly out of necessity and partly by accident. When I first realized that there was only one thing for me to do, that I had to live my purpose in service of others, nobody was really teaching holistic practitioners how to build their business. And while I had stumbled my way through, at some point, I, as they say, cracked the code. And at one point, I realized I had signed up 50 prospective clients in a row to a 6-month agreement. And everybody had said yes. Nobody had said no. And at that point, I thought, well, I should probably figure out what I'm doing. And so when I say by accident, what I mean is I looked back and I went, holy cow, whatever I'm doing is really working. And I do things pretty systematically, so I went about to systematizing what I do. And that's what this weekend is really about, is about giving you that system. Now, of course, it's been honed quite a bit over the last 6-7 years. And it just works. Most of you know I took a couple of years off and just came back into this business in the summer of 2013 and turned the engine on, and I've had my best quarter ever in quarter 4 of 2013. So the system works, it's very effective, and it comes from a place of holistic values. And I want you to have that. I want you to have certainty, 80-90% certainty when somebody walks in for an initial conversation with you, that you'll be able to sign them up for an extended package, that you can live your purpose, that you can be in service. If you have any questions after this video, it's about a 10-minute video coming up that'll explain everything you need to know about the weekend, I hope. There's also a frequently asked questions page if you like, but watch the video first. And if you have any questions after that, and after reading the frequently asked questions page, of course, feel free to email me. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Thanks again, and thank you for the honor and the privilege of being able to contribute to you. Well, let's get right into what the weekend's about. And what this weekend is really about, what you're going to leave with. It'll give you a system that will allow you to fill your practice and keep it full. That's really the bottom line. But in greater detail, first we'll help you build a comprehensive offering or hone one if you've already got one. We'll give you structures that, once you're competent with them, will guarantee that you can sign 80% of the potential clients you meet in initial sessions. And we're talking about signing them up for an extended package. And we'll have you leave not just with the sales system, but some actual sales skills so you can put the system to work right away. You'll get a crash course in email and social media marketing. You'll learn some presentation skills and presentation structures so that the talks can practically write themselves, which will allow you to turn your evening talks into client acquisition events. And of course, we're going to dissolve any limiting beliefs about money, about yourself, about your offering that could be getting in the way of your success. There's always some personal work. So let's just go back to, evolutionary sales in the beginning. I was certain I could create a system that was grounded in service and contribution, that passed the holistic smell test, so to speak. It was free of fear and leveraging tactics, but also didn't sacrifice cleanliness for results or sacrifice results for cleanliness or ethics. And let's talk a little bit about why this is necessary now. In the 21st century marketplace, you've got hyper-informed consumers. There's a lot of competition out there, and that's the good thing. There are also hyper-empowered clients and prospects with advanced media tools at their disposal. I remember one time I saw somebody with a t-shirt that says, "I am blogging this." I thought it was hilarious. Also a sign of the times. And they have a high sensitivity to win-lose dynamics. And, 20th century sales, which really, I'm hoping, becomes more and more obsolete, it's really a subject-object sort of orientation. There's a lot of manipulation. It's really about closing deals. It's Thunderdome influence. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. And there's this, I heard several times when I was doing training, sales guys talking about shooting prospects down or knocking deals down. Really, these violent metaphors that just really don't suit the holistic practitioner, or really, frankly, suit the marketplace, the emerging need for more of a relational experience. And many of you have probably heard GTM, get the money, get the check. That's the most important thing, which I should disagree with. As you can imagine, given the 21st century marketplace, this orientation just isn't effective anymore. So what's required to thrive in the 21st century marketplace? The evolutionary professional qualities, they're grounded in service and contribution. They use skills of influence ethically. And ethical means in service of their outcomes, not your own. It's relational. It's engaged and responsive. There's curiosity. And of course, demonstrating value and care. And interested in win-win-wins. And of course, transparency. For me, the sign of ethical sales tactics and techniques is that you can be transparent with the prospect about the fact that it's a sales technique. You can explain to them why it serves them. Not just that it's effective or that it has some psychological value, that it just works, but actually why it serves them. So let's talk about evolutionary sales and the organizing principles. Evolutionary sales, you're not closing a deal, you're opening a relationship. You're not selling your services. You're guiding them to sell themselves on their outcomes and what that will make possible in their life or their business. You're demonstrating competence with your own congruence and the cogency of your offering. You're embodying the fact that the money is secondary. And you're engaged in value-based selling versus commodity-based selling. These are the principles around which evolutionary sales is wrapped and the foundation that it stands on. And a lot of people might have some experience about what sales is. In fact, one of the things we'll do to uncover some of your limiting beliefs on the very first day is to ask you what sales is to you and do some exercises around that. But here's what evolutionary sales is. It's the ability to guide someone towards their own vision and assist them in expanding what they see as possible for themselves. That's it. That's all there is to it. And it's a very elegant, relational process. So what does it take to build a six-figure coaching or a holistic service business? It takes really three things. You need to have a comprehensive offering or a series of sessions, a package. You need to have and use a sales system. And you need to provide free content as a means of acquiring clients. There's a few reasons you want to do this as well. But first of all, your free evening workshops, that'll be the bread and butter of client acquisitions. You can also do video like this one or like many of the ones that you've seen me put out. And of course, articles, blogging, social media, all that stuff. But you need to provide value for a few reasons. First of all, it gives people a sense of how you are, what your insights are, how effective you are at your particular offering. But it also gives them a sense of you. In the 21st century marketplace, because there's so much choice, it's really just important that they have a sense of who you are, a sense of where you come from, and a sense of your care, or at the very least, your competence. Another way of thinking about the weekend is we'll do some of your personal work. There's always some personal evolution in the work that I do. We'll help you either create or hone what to sell. We'll teach you how to sell it, and then we'll help you find people to sell it to. It's pretty straightforward. Getting more into the details of it, day one, we'll lay the groundwork. These will be useful assumptions, presuppositions, organizing principles. And of course, we'll go for your outcomes for the course and for the business. We'll talk about the role of purpose, life purpose or spiritual purpose. We'll get into we'll get into beliefs about sales, about yourself, about your offering, about the marketplace. And we'll talk about the evolutionary sales principles. On the second day, we'll reveal the system. We'll talk about the difference between skill and knowledge. And there really is a huge difference. You can know something, but to embody it, to be comfortable with it, to be competent with it, that takes practice. We'll help you create initial sessions and structures for initial sessions that convert clients, period. We'll teach you the evolutionary sales flow. And of course, I'll demonstrate it with one of you. And I'll also provide you all the email templates, contract templates, sales flow charts, all the things that you'll need really to be able to relax into the process and just really, with some customization, of course, to have your own voice, but giving you the structure so that you can do it easily. And we'll practice the sales flow in groups of 3, and then we'll practice the sales flow in groups of 3, and then we'll practice the sales flow in groups of 3. And like I said, practice is so important, that difference between skill and knowledge, and that takes practice. It also gives you an opportunity to get feedback from me. I've been doing this for so long, and you really want to use me as a resource so that you can get feedback and you can actually leave with some competence. And that's really what I want. I want you to leave with some competence so that you're comfortable enough with it that you can immediately put into use so that you can begin to build your business. In day 3, we'll talk about lead acquisition and marketing. We'll also talk about the role of self-esteem in your professional evolution. We'll go over some presentation skills, the standard presentation format, so that the talks can actually write themselves, how to use those evening talks or mini workshops to acquire clients. We'll talk about referral systems. I recommend at least a couple. And we'll give you a social media crash course, as well as email marketing and best practices for that. It's going to be a really full weekend, really packed with value. It's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to go over. And you have my money back guarantee that if after completing the course you don't feel you received more than your money's worth, I'll gladly give you a full refund. Just imagine what this makes possible for you. What it makes possible for you is to really stop worrying and stop being uncertain about your future. It allows you to integrate your purpose and your prosperity. It allows you to have a system in place that once you turn that system on, there's a certain amount of time before you'll have a full practice so that you'll be financially free and you'll be able to have your attention on your clients and serving them as you should, as fully as possible. And it really allows you to experience greater ease and hope and possibility, all of those things and more. Just imagine for yourself what it makes possible for you to have a system in place that would not only be ethical and in alignment with your holistic principles and values, but also is incredibly effective. The course is the weekend of June 20th. That's the evening of the 20th and all day the 21st and all day the 22nd. And if you sign just one additional client, open just one additional relationship as a result of what you've learned during the weekend, it will pay for itself several times over. Your next step is to contact me using the contact form on the site. We'll schedule a 15 to 30 minute phone conversation and make sure that the course is a fit for you. And if it is, we'll go ahead and get you registered. I'm Jason McLean. Thank you for the opportunity to be of service to you in you integrating your purpose and your prosperity.